Free Guy was directed by Sean Levy, and I finally saw it. A lot of people have probably been wondering why I haven't said anything about this movie. There was no review on the channel. There's a few reasons. If you know where I am right now, that's one of the reasons. And so things were a little late, and this is kind of a trial review in that sense because some things might not be on time every now and then, but I'm still counting on the fact that people would probably be interested in seeing a review of it, even if the movie is slightly older, but nonetheless, here we go. So Free Guy focuses on Guy, played by Ryan Reynolds, a non-playable character on an NPC in a video game that is run by Taika Waititi. However, through a bizarre set of circumstances, which I'm not going to spoil just in case you've not seen it, he becomes a lot more self-aware and actually starts to do things that players who join into the game in the real world only they can do up until now. And suddenly he's fully functioning on his own and even taking those people on. That's as much as I'm going to say because there's a lot more to the movie, and like I said, if you've not seen it yet, I don't want to ruin any surprises. But for those who've seen it, the reviews that have come in, whatever they've said, I agree with. I had a blast with Free Guy, and for the reasons that you've probably heard. Not only is it a visually awesome film with some really great video game imagery and a lot of references here and there, there's a lot of really fun elements to it. This film has some very intricate set pieces as a result of that, some very original sort of concepts in terms of how to handle video games. I really liked it because it sort of understood video games, not just the world that they inhabit, the characters, but also the sort of industry of gaming. And it's not exactly the best in the world. If you follow gaming commentary from game reviewers or from people in the industry, they'll tell you all about the pros and cons, and they'll always tell you about some things that just don't work and some things that are put emphasis upon, and the commentary that the film makes on those things is pretty sound. It lines up with a lot of that, and so a lot of people watching this movie will be like, well, that's kind of familiar. But the film is really, really good at understanding the world and that this is taking place in. And the characters like Guy and Buddy, played by Lil Ray Howery, who inhabit it, how their jobs are basically same day, the same thing keeps happening. They wake up the next day and suddenly it's like same routine, same shit, different day sort of scenario. And then eventually when you start to break the cycle, things start to get a little messy. Eventually, when there are characters in the game who are trying to do something of their own, and eventually they run into guys such as Millie, played by Jodie Comer, then things get very interesting. And both Ryan Reynolds and Jodie Comer are incredible. They have excellent chemistry throughout the entire film, and they're both extremely funny too. Now, I can't really spoil what mission she's on because again spoilers, but she's trying to do something to basically take down Taika Waititi's character, and the way that's really handled in terms of her gaming avatar was a lot of fun. I had a great time with this entire storyline, just the way that it was carrying forward and the things that were going down as a result of it. It's also and I've already hinted at it being quite funny, and it is. It's a very funny movie, and it's a film that's incredibly self-aware, and visually, like I said, it is spectacular. It has a really great soundtrack as well, one that'll get very much earworm level like in some point in time because you're going to be listening to Fantasy by Mariah Carey over and over and over and over and over again. That's just going to happen. That's just the way it is. And since the movie is divided into two halves, there's also the part which is the gaming world, but there's the part which is the real world. The way the film handles NPCs and basically integrating them into this world and basically explaining how each character's role is affected in the game and how certain things have to work in a certain specific way, otherwise things fall apart. I keep going back to the gaming commentary aspect of this and the way it handles the video game world, and it's like that is the best part of this movie. Because of that, so much of the performances, the direction, the writing, the editing, the everything about it, that works because of that very core understanding of what the subject matter is. Does that mean the film is flawless? Not exactly. There are issues here and there. The stuff that's in the real world, sometimes you don't always really, are invested in it all the time. Like there are moments where you're definitely caring about certain things that are happening. Like in example, there's Joe Keery's character who has his arc and you're invested in that. But there are other things here and there where you're like, I wish there was a little more done with that or a little more done with that. But as a result of that, sometimes you can lose out on some beats here and there. But I found myself very emotionally invested and having a really great time with Free Guy by the end of it, and I would highly recommend checking it out if you've not seen it yet, which I assume is not a lot of people, because I think at this point most people have already seen the movie. So if you have, leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I'm excited to hear what you guys thought about it. I'm gonna give Free Guy a 9 out of 10. Like I said, this is a trial phase review. I want to see if the fact that this is a little later than usual, if that's going to affect anything, like if you guys are still interested in watching it. If you are, great. If not, oh well. I thank you very much if you did watch, and I really appreciate it. And as always, if you like this, please do subscribe. I'll have reviews also for Cry Macho and Prisoners of the Ghostland starring Nicolas Cage, which I've been very excited about, out very, very soon. As always, if you like this, please do subscribe, and I'll see you guys at the movies.